Hello, hello, friends. Hey, hey, hey. So excited today. We are talking about living aboard a sailboat, living at sea, on the ocean. We're talking about living on the water in a boat with Phylecia Jones, because that's what she does. Hello, friends. If you are an experienced boater and you're here to watch this video because you want to know if you could do it full time, or if you have any boating experience at all, I'm going to say 17 things wrong at minimum. I have my lefts and my rights at my boat. I don't know. I have no boat terminology. Phylecia is our boating girly. I am just a vessel. So I'm excited today, Phylecia, to have you with me because I met you pre-boat and I've been looking forward to this boat excursion because somehow in my mind, I'm involved. I don't know how.
You've been invited.
I will
I'm
be
just
on that
waiting
boat
for
one
you.
day. Yes. So today we're talking about living at sea. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you're here with your questions. Um, and oh, boat behind you. Phylecia and I earlier were talking about how people won't think you're out. Like if there's activity, if there's
This is not a backdrop.
it's not
not
a backdrop.
not a fake one. It's a
It's
real
not a
one.
backdrop. Here's a boat behind her. All right, Phylecia, introduce yourself to the peoples.
Hi everyone. I'm Phylecia Jones and I live on a boat. Um, in my daytime trying to be a professional life, I am the founder of I Find You Clothes. I research and find speaking gigs for people, but on the other side of life, I'm out here just living it up in the middle of the sea.
Okay, okay. Now for the peoples. Um, how long have you been living on a boat?
Oh, this has been about 6.5 months now. And this boat journey has been in the works, oh my gosh, since I think we put the deposit down in 2020. So this has been in the works for a long time. And before that, my husband and I, we did 2.5 years traveling around the US and Canada in our RV. So last August, the boat got delivered, and that started a journey that I was not prepared for.
Okay. All right, couple things. First, good morning to everyone watching with us. I know I jumped right in with Phylecia because this is going to be interesting and we need to be on time. You know I'm not a
Yeah.
timely person, y'all. Um, so good morning to everyone here. Good morning to the members of my membership. We are going to meet live after this. I'll send a link out. We'll meet on Zoom. Phylecia, you put a deposit on a boat in 2020.
Never seen the boat before. Put a deposit down. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Because this was
Hmm.
a fresh built for you boat, or did you
Yep.
buy a boat?
Fresh new build boat.
Fresh. You don't want a boat. I had an ex that told me that when he finally made it, he wasn't gonna buy a car, but anybody else that ever sat in. And that just reminds me of that. You were fresh made for you boat, not
Yeah,
nobody else's boat.
fresh literally came over from Vietnam and got dropped off, and they were like, "Here you go.
They make
Good
boats in
luck."
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Listen, they make boats in Vietnam. Did not
Yes, they
know.
do. Yes, they do.
Okay, I was over in Vietnam getting clothes. You're in Vietnam getting boats. We are not the same. Okay, so you put a deposit on a boat in 2020.
Yes.
And yet when you got on the boat in 2025, you were not
Hmm.
prepared? Tell
You
us
you
tell us more.
know, like, this has been a dream. My husband has talked about sailing and boating since we were dating.
Uh-huh.
And eventually we took lessons. I got like 100 hours in towards being a captain, all that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
But you know how you go and like when are we going to pull the trigger and make this happen? And then of course, you had the pandemic, and it was like, screw it, life is short, let's go ahead and do this thing. After he explained what it is that he wanted to do, because I was like, so we just gonna sit in the ocean? Like, I'm not comprehending this at all. So we put it down, and I was like, you know what, life is short, let's go do it. And there's so many things about sailing that you go in thinking like, okay, this is easy, we took a class, we watched some YouTube videos, and it's just like, nope. The living experience is different, because you have to learn how to live on a boat, navigate with a boat, put sails up, figure out where you're going. And the best example, I read someone else's blog, and she said, boating, things you never realize is that in your regular life, like for you, like weather is just a backdrop. It rains, you get an umbrella. It's cold outside, we snuggle up. For me, weather determines whether or not I can even go to shore to go buy some eggs. And
Oh,
it determines everything. So I am now a meteorologist. I understand currents.
ooh,
I know way more about the ocean than I ever wanted to learn. And like, yeah, just my brain is just, it's just in a learning mode. And I don't know if you've ever been in this situation where I realized I hadn't had to learn anything in a long time. Like I learned bits and pieces and stuff, but this was like, okay, I need to pull out the notebook and take notes and remember things because
okay.
everything is on the line. So, but yeah, so you think you're prepared, and then it's like, okay, all right, weather,
All
you
right.
teaching me.
So Felicia has a YouTube channel called Felicia Travels,
Hmm.
right? Okay, that's the name of
Yep.
the channel. I was watching a video about navigating the ICA, the
The
inter
ICW.
ICW,
Yeah.
intercoastal water
Waterway.
waterway.
Intercoastal waterway. Yep.
Baby, she was talking about how she can't cross the bridge if the tide ain't right, and she can't do. And I was like, this is significant. I thought you just put some sails up when the wind was right.
I did
You know, with
too.
it.
Don't
I
worry.
was
I
like,
did
wait.
too. And then it was like by month two, it's like, oh, you just don't turn it on and go. It's like, okay, here's a bridge. Our mast is 64, the bridge is 65, or it's like, okay, like, and then you learn like, okay, if the water is up, you can't go. You got to wait till the water is down. Like what? So yeah, all these things that you think is simple and not simple at the same time.
Okay.
Um, and you have to learn a whole new language. I know a whole new language now.
Okay. So how many times since you've been on this boat have you been like, what
Every
if we
day.
didn't?
I already
What?
know what you're gonna ask. I mean, like month one was
Uh-huh.
just like, I think like first 2 days, it was like, am I too old for this? Because boating is, or sailing, I'll say sailing, because we're on and I'll tell everyone I'm on um, a 42-foot catamaran. It is a Seawind 1260. So that means I have two hulls. And so I'm not like a monohull that sways like this, but things when you go to the Caribbean, those kind of boats. And and it's so active because you can't just walk up and down all this. You're like climbing, holding on to things. And I think it was just like, am I too old for this? And then like month two, three, four, five, you're like questioning like, what in the world did we just do? Like, and I still wake up most mornings just like, I live on a boat, y'all.
You live on a boat
I live on
with
a
your
boat.
husband and your dog?
Yep, husband and my dog. We don't own a car anymore,
Okay.
so I am dependent on my feet, using any type of transportation if we need to. But luckily, in the coastal towns, I don't have to go very far for what I need. But yeah, I live on a boat now. It is a life changer.
Okay. Let's talk about real quick
Mhm.
where you are and where you've been in this 6+
In
months.
the last 6 months. So we started off in Stewart, Florida. So the boat got delivered from Vietnam to Miami, to the port of Miami. And the broker who commissioned it got it from Miami to Stewart, Florida. So that's north of Palm Beach, Florida. And because I learned quickly about hurricane season and the boat got delivered in August, the insurance was like, you need to get north fast. And we were like, okay. Um, our reality met our skills, and we couldn't go as far as we wanted to because we just didn't know what we were doing. We honestly just didn't know what we were doing. But in that short amount of time, I've gone from Stewart to St. Augustine on overnight open ocean passages. So being out in the ocean, just me and the moon. We've gone to Savannah, Georgia, up to Hilton Head, and then eventually we turned around, came back down to St. Augustine, and then went all the way down to the Florida Keys, and that's where we hung out for the winter.
Okay.
And after that, we decided to cross the Gulf Stream and went over to the Bahamas.
Ooh, how was that?
It was I mean, the Bahamas is beautiful, like
Mhm.
absolutely beautiful. So the next time we go, we're definitely going to stay for about 2 or 3 months because you got to go see all of it.
Mhm.
But the water is amazing. Crossing the Gulf Stream. And for those of you, I just learned about this a few months ago too. There's this current that goes off the coast of the United States that if you do it wrong, it goes wrong for you. We did it right, and so we made it over there. Being in that deep of the ocean was you start thinking about your life a lot because we have a depth meter, and you see 12 feet deep, 200 feet, and then when you get out into the ocean, it doesn't even read anymore because it's just that deep. So you start thinking about a lot of things and just hope that you're prepared and everything works out. But it was an amazing crossing though. It was an amazing crossing.
When you said depth meter, I thought you said death meter, and I was like,
No,
"Wait,
depth. No, not depth.
wait, pause. I don't
No.
think that's okay.
No, no,
All right,
no.
a depth meter.
Yeah.
Uh, so
You
you
see what
have
I mean? It's like a whole new language. You're
it's a whole
like,
new language.
new language.
Okay, so a few minutes ago, you talked about how when you first got the boat, your you weren't as skilled as you are now. And
Mhm.
I think that when I think about living on a boat,
Mhm.
when I think about when no, not living on a boat, when I think about being responsible for a boat, like me, in that ocean, I feel like if I'm not an expert, I can't do it, right? Like I like it living being in control of a boat doesn't feel to me like a thing where you could be like, okay, I know enough, right? And that could be some syndrome because I know some people are out there on boats who don't know nothing, right? But for me, it feels like because my death meter is finely tuned, I feel like, oh no, I couldn't do this. I would need to have like a trained and life a captain. I would need to
Uh-huh.
have a professional captain to be aboard a boat like this. How did it how were you able to get past the like I don't know everything of it all to I know enough to start?
When we first started, we worked with a captain, oh gosh, for about a month and a half. And our first overnight, we did take a captain, but it's still not enough when you are like, okay, we're on our own. And all I can say is that the anxiety is there and it's still there because I still don't know everything. And the only thing I can do is make sure one, I'm prepared safety wise,
Mhm.
make sure I got all of the things, and that I choose a great weather day, not going out when it's 45-mile-per-hour winds or anything like that. Um, and that's all you can do. And it's just it's one of these things. It's a leap of faith and a
Mhm.
leap of adventure, and you just have to just trust that your boat is sound. That's the big thing. Make sure your boat
Oh,
works.
wow. I never thought
make
about
sure
that.
make sure it works. That takes at least 80% of the pressure off. Stay hydrated so that you don't get sick.
Uh-huh.
But the rest is you just have to just like, okay, we got this. Like, I got all the things, everybody's tracking me. And one of the other things that I have learned is you can bail out. If you go out and your gut is saying, nope, this ain't it, you turn around and go back. There's no need to be a hero because there's nothing to prove to anyone when you're out in the ocean.
Okay. The way well, I was looking at your video today about the ICA and the way you're talking
ICW.
ICW. I don't know what the ICA is, but Imma say it 7 more times. Like I said, Imma get things wrong in this video, please.
And
So
you've
everyone
probably seen the
so we're
ICW
clear.
before.
I'm
You,
sorry?
you've probably seen that. You've seen the ICW before. So for those, if you've ever been to
Yes.
Fort Lauderdale, the little river there, that's the
I
ICW.
know it.
Yeah.
I just we say the intercoastal. Like,
Well,
that's
intercoastal.
it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's it's the IC. It's, that last letter is
Yeah.
throwing me off.
Got to throw that
Um,
water in there.
important. Uh one of the things that struck me was that it seems like time is just an illusion.
There
Because
is no
like
time.
you said, you turn around. You can't go. She was in her video earlier, she's talking about, you were talking about how if you have to cross in a town 3 bridges, you gotta time it right, because if not, you might get stuck between bridges, and now you
Yep.
can't. I said, "Oh, so it's not like a car. It's not like an RV where you're just like, boop, boop."
No, you are subjected to everything that's going on. And one thing I have learned is you cannot have a calendar. Time is just an idea.
Okay.
Like if I say, if you say I'm going to be in DC on October 19th, like when will you get there? Like, I don't know. I'll be in the area if the weather is good, So time is just not you have to, that's probably one of the biggest things that myself and my husband had to kind of contend with, is that there is no more schedules. You
Mhm.
can't just, like in the RV, or even when you're traveling by air, on the 19th, I'm leaving here and I'm going to arrive here at this exact time. It just doesn't work that way anymore. And that is, man, you have to, it takes a long time and a few meltdowns to kind of finally like consume that into your soul.
Okay. Yeah, it's such a interesting thing. And before you got here, you built a life where, like, you get to be your own boss, right? And so
Hmm.
that's nice that, like, you don't have to be at a meeting at a specific place in a specific time because most of your
No,
meetings are
no.
online, right?
Most everything's going to be online. And one of the things that I had to do in order to prepare for this, even for the last few years, is just realize that this is a life change. And I still, to this day, underestimated how much of a life change this would be.
Mhm.
But I had to, oh gosh, I would say since like 2019, start aligning everything so that I can have this kind of life where I'm not trying to hustle to get to a conference or having meetings. Now it's just like, text me, I'll call you when I'm available. Trying to be more of like that and be more of myself when running a business, because
Mhm.
I realize I can't do the ultra, I can't pretend to be this ultra professional anymore. A few years ago, yes, I mean, I had the Spanx on, the makeup on, and your makeup is beautiful. Uh, you know, I'm I'm just such a different person now. Like, I can't guarantee what will be happening or showing up. Like right now it's raining. It's like, well, I can't really stop the rain. So it just is what it is. And so yeah, so that was probably the biggest thing going into this, just realizing that this would change my life and being ready for it. Because that's the biggest
Okay.
thing. Just being ready for a life change.
Mhm. Okay, very important.
Mhm.
Um, Tall Teasy wants to know what your career was before boat life.
Okay. Oh, you want the real bio? So I graduated from HBCU, yay Morris Brown. Was in Atlanta, Georgia, and I got recruited by the U.S. Navy as a civilian. So I spent 11 years as a computer scientist and engineer. I got a master's degree in systems engineering, and I worked for the government up until about 2014, when they offered early retirements, and I was like, they just gave you money to leave, and I was like, I'll give this a try. And I went into money coaching, and then eventually doing the researching for finding speaking gigs for people, because that's how I built my business. So yeah, so I have done the, I don't know, I call it, my career is like the Forrest Gump of careers. I have seen some lifetimes,
Mhm.
from being a computer scientist to running a business, and I've done the stages. I've done a few TEDx talks, and I've been over like 200 stages and things like that. Um, so yeah, so now I'm in this, I don't know, soft life. I don't know, kind of enjoying life.
Ooh, okay, okay.
Because you inspired me. I don't know. I was like, I'm trying to have a really good interview, because half of it just me fangirling over you. Because I saw it was a CNBC about why you moved to Mexico City. And the
Mhm.
big thing that struck me was when you talked about what is enough. And I was like,
Mhm.
oof, I was like, that's deep. And That spurred a 3-hour conversation at dinner time with my husband. So you are a topic of conversation at dinner time around here. Um, and but yeah, so just kind of going through that journey, when I heard you talking about deciding or figuring out what is enough, it was like, okay, like what is enough for me? And being able to just kind of go after this and not being afraid to switch things up
Hmm.
when something's just ain't like, when everything in your soul is like, this ain't it anymore.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And listening to that is really important. So yay you. Um, since we're talking about your husband, someone earlier in her comments said, she said, I think they came in late, said we. She said, we. Who's we? A male? That's how I heard it when I read the comment. A male. That's the voice I believe she said it in. I don't know. Can't read tone, but that's what I heard. Um,
Yes,
is
there's a
he
husband.
around? Is he
Yes,
around?
he's behind the monitor here.
So he can hear us?
No, he can't hear us.
Okay. Okay. Don't watch this part of the video, husband, if you ever watch this back. This is not for you. Okay. Living at sea with your husband. Kat wants to
Mm.
know, how does it affect your relationship? I want to know, do you want to leave that man, and how often?
No,
No.
no, never. There has not been any questions about the relationship since being on here. But you also got to realize that when we got married, it's just the two of us, and we've been married. It's going to be year 14, and we had a discussion early on of like, what was the purpose of this marriage, and we decided that it was traveling and these experiences, and because we've been traveling the world. This is like the longest I've stayed on U.S. soil in a very long time, because we were like, "Give us a plane ticket, we're out," Uh, but we've never had any issues, and no arguments. I mean, there's little arguments about, we're probably going to die in the ocean if we don't figure this out type thing. You have those moments. And then when you get the boat anchored, you like drink something brown and go sit down and
Okay.
like and rethink your life.
Okay.
But the 2.5 years in the RV was probably where it would have happened, because I call it the tuna can. You're in the tuna can driving through the middle of British Columbia, ain't nobody around except for some grizzly bears. And so, but we've been good, like no issues being in small spaces, because it's always just been us. It's just us on every adventure, every travel. Yeah, so no problems.
Okay. All right. So,
I know it sounds weird, but yeah, no issues.
all right. Now, when you in one of your videos, you showed the inside of the boat, and my first thought, I forgot you used to live in an RV when I looked at it, but when I saw it,
Mhm.
I was like, that looks like an RV to me. It looks like an RV. What is the what's the difference in experience between living in an RV to living on a boat?
I mean, obviously the water changes everything. I mean, it just changes everything. You just can't up and go. Like
Mhm.
even in an RV, like you go from a house, you have comforts of a house, and you pare down to get into an RV. But even an RV, you still have a car, and it's just like, all right, I just want to go to this store and buy something. I want to go get something to eat. Whereas you just don't have that ability on a boat, because we have a little boat. So we have a dinghy. So this is how we get to shore. So we have a little boat attached to the
Mhm.
boat. So that's how we get to shore. And that's how, and since we don't have a car anymore, we have to navigate that. um, the other differences is, you realize you don't need as much as
Mhm.
you've always had. Like the clothing has pared down. You don't need as many shoes. I rarely wear shoes now, because I'm just always barefoot. Uh, so it's kind of it's more freeing and very borderline minimal, but not being minimal. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you just don't have as much stuff, which is kind of cool. It leaves more room to buy toys to go play in the water with. And then you also just realize a lot of the things, I call them land people now. Um, A
Those
lot of
land people over there.
those land people issues. It's a lot of BS going on around here. Because because my thing is like, man, get your butt out in the ocean and it'll let you know who really is in control. And it ain't you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Um, how long do you have you and your husband have a plan for how long you're going to do this, or is it just indefinitely?
It's indefinitely what we did when we were like when we first got married, and I'm so serious. It sounds so corny, but we had this long discussion about what was the purpose of this marriage, and then we eventually decided that every 10 years we just try something new. For the first 10 years, we'll prep for whatever we think the next 10 years is, and I'm thinking this is going to be the adventure for the next 10 years, minimal, because the next big one is, he has some things he has to figure out about work. Because once we can take off from the United States and sail, you can sail around the Caribbean or sail around the world. And most people who do that, they just take off and they may come back in about 5 or 6 years. So
Mhm.
those options are available to us, to just go and adventure island hopping just on a boat.
Okay. That's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you by yourself, could you do this?
No, absolutely not.
Could you do this on a smaller boat? Like, is it that, like, no boat at
Mm,
all, and is that a you thing, or is that a someone else in your body, same experience?
somebody
Similar.
else could do it. I'm not doing this. This is a hot topic in the boating world. Solo sailors versus two-man sailors.
Mhm.
The only reason I would never do this, one, the insurance won't allow it. But when something goes wrong, you need help. And you got to have so many things in place that if you get sick, the biggest thing when sailing is exhaustion, because when we're doing overnight sails, somebody has to stay awake. So we do shifts. So
Okay.
even if you were to come and join us and say you want to do an overnight passage, you get to do a shift too, because nobody comes on for free. It's not a cruise. Uh, so everybody does a shift and you stay awake. And being able to do that solo is borderline dangerous. There's a lot of people who do it.
Mhm.
I would not do it. Um, would be way too terrified. If I had to, like if my husband got sick, I can go and do it, but I wouldn't want to. I would call somebody immediately to be like, I need you to go get on this boat with me and help me out.
Okay. Okay. Um, do you have a community of boaters?
Yes. This has been the fascinating thing about this, because I know we toss around creating community,
Mhm.
and it's borderline. We got to be careful because nowadays it's getting kind of like a buzzword. We say it, but nobody knows how to do it. This community, I knew it was coming. It was not what I was expected. Girl, I got my call and text list is a bunch of old white men that I could put on speed dial when I need help, because I'm not about to hurt myself out here. But these people will come to your aid in a second. Like, all you got to do is get on the radio and like, hey, I'm having trouble, and people will jump in their little dinghies and come help you out. When we were down in Boot Key, we were having some issues with our sail. Luckily, the person next to us had a boat just like ours. I mean, because our toilet broke, of course. That's how they always work. He was offering up the parts. He let us use some other lines to help with our sails. Came over and walked through a whole bunch of things with us. So that's one thing that I've been not surprised, but still kind of surprised how everybody is willing to jump in to help you, no
Mhm.
matter what it is. And we'll do it without, you know, got to pay anybody. I mean, of course, if you have a beer, they'll be there even faster. But that's been the one cool thing, is that there is a community here. And when you go to marinas, there's shared showers, laundry rooms. So you meet a lot of people in the laundry room, of course. Uh, but I have been really surprised and been really cool with the community that has gotten here. I would love to see more Black women,
Mhm.
but I've seen a few. I've seen two, so that's been cool.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about being a Black woman in a community that does not see a lot of Black women in that space. So you go to the laundry room, you go to the gas station or whatever. Like, what are these experiences like for you?
Oh man. Well, there's a couple of things that's going on. One, our age is what
Mhm,
throws. I will say it's going to be a mix of woman, race, age. The
mhm,
age thing kind of throws people off because most of the people are retiree status. These are folks who've had these large companies and they decide to get a boat in retirement status, and we are very much not in retirement. And I'm not that I'm trying to flex. Our boat was expensive, you know. So you kind of, I mean, and I'm pretty sure you've met some people like this, and you could just see the wheels turning, like, oh, they want to ask so bad. What do
mhm,
you do? And they tap dance around it. So what do you guys do? And it was like, we finally made it here. So you get a lot of that. Race wise, I haven't had too many issues. Only on the buying side will you have when you're
mm,
dealing with salespeople because they're looking at whoever they think has the money. That's just how it goes. A lot of it is a little bit of surprise. Like people aren't rude or anything because it's mainly very male dominated. So it's more surprise and more curiosity for some. For some, you get some vibes and you just like, I know what they're about. So you just let them go on, do what they're going to do. But for the most part, everybody's been pretty cool. The people who have the weird vibes, they can go jump in the sea. I mean, at this point, we know how to deal with those people. But everybody's been fairly cool so far. But you could definitely tell there's a lot of curiosity. You get some stares
mhm.
sometimes because this is very I don't know if you grew up, like you people go into grandma's house and you sit on the porch and just wave to people. That's what this is like. So everybody who passes by waves at you. So you definitely get a lot of just like, huh, there's a girl and it's brown, that type of thing. So you
What
get a that.
is that? Do I see what I think I
Well, because sometimes you see you know how they stare so hard. It's like, sweetie, you're
yeah,
gonna hit that pole out in the ocean. You might want to turn
right.
around a little
You might
bit.
wanna focus up.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you, for those of us, I'm sure some people in my audience have RV experience. Can you compare what the experience is as a Black female boater to that of as a Black female RVer?
Whew, the RV experience is way different. All the issues that you may think you may have or the feelings are definitely there in the RV world, which is odd because I thought it would be more here in the boating world,
Mhm.
but I don't know, maybe because you're out here in the ocean and you might die. People kind of people like, let's be cool, because the other thing in boating is that you get buddy boaters. So you just meet people and like, hey, we're going over to the Virgin Islands. We don't want to sail by ourselves. They don't want to sail by themselves. So you just make friends like that. The RV world is a very different because I mean you're going through these small towns and sometimes small towns are small for a reason and you feel the presence of unfriendly people. And so you kind of have to maneuver through that. Everybody's not as friendly, definitely not as friendly in the RVing world, which is unfortunate. Um, More older people.
Mhm.
So whatever, older people from the Midwest, they bring their whatever is in their souls with them. So it's just not as I'm trying to tap dance around,
Well, no, we
but
you can say it directly, but also we get it. We're picking up
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
putting down.
yeah. But yeah, not as friendly in the RV world, which was, I will say, kind of the unfortunate part. You definitely get a lot more stares um, in that space. Um, yeah,
Okay.
which was probably the sad part, but also I knew how to go have my fun, met up with friends because we went to all the national parks and things like that. except for Alaska. Alaska had a whole different vibe. I think the same thing there because people out in the middle of nowhere with bears, they just happy to have somebody to talk to. You just
Mm,
go into some places in Alaska and it was like, oh, she ain't had anybody to talk to in a while. And they just like, hey, I was like, okay, calm down.
okay. Maybe it's all the sunlight. We got a lot of, oh no, or we don't have
Well,
sunlight.
it was in
Different
the
time of year.
summertime. It was all
Yeah.
day sun. I think some of the places we went to, they're just so remote, like
Hmm.
a town of 7 people, and the 7 people is one family because they have 3 kids, you know. So you have people who are just like, "Where are you from?" It's just very excitable to talk to
Yes.
you. But yeah, I would say the RVing world is not as friendly as the boating world,
Okay.
unfortunately.
I don't think I would have guessed that, but I think that when you explain the life or deathness, right, of the boating world, and also it feels like there would be less competition for resources in the boating world than in the RV world.
There, you definitely have less competition for resources because I make my own power, I make my own water.
Hmm.
I don't use a lot of gas because I'm a sailboat. Power boaters, whole different ball game. Uh, they call it willy waving. Just guys out here trying to see who has big dicks or whatever. But
Hmm.
in the sailboating world, yeah, I'm very much on my own. I do not have to depend on anything for power, water, all of that kind of stuff. Um, but I think just the seriousness of this does change how people operate and are willing to help you out. Now, there's some assholes, but they're usually by themselves, and you'll see them on the news in a documentary soon. Just being serious.
Woo! Okay. Speaking of the seriousness of it all, Orletta wants to know, how do you not get overwhelmed by all the responsibilities?
You go read a romance novel.
Huh. Okay. All right. Are
Um,
you are you reading ebooks or are you reading physical books? What you got in the stash?
ebooks, because I don't
Books.
have the space. Is not a luxury I have anymore. So
Okay.
I am the ebook queen, and send me your books, I will read them. But
Okay.
there are a lot of responsibilities, and we're going into month 7. Last month was like the first time I was able to kind of prioritize everything because it feels like everything is just coming at you like all at once. Like, oh my gosh, we got to do this, and then people are telling you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to take care of this. So it has been very overwhelming. It's been very intimidating, but it's almost just like you just need more confidence and like taking the boat out every day. Like right now, as soon as we get off, we can just go out and sail for like 2 or 3 hours, and that kind of ease is like, okay, I can do this. Like I can put the sails up, I can navigate, I can talk to the guy at the bridge, you know. um and so you just have to be okay with it. And I think the biggest thing is probably not any different than those of you who move to different countries. It takes a while to kind of feel your vibe because you're just new, and I think I have to always give myself grace. Like, all of this is new. I don't need to have all the answers because I don't. And I don't need to pretend I have the answers. And ChatGPT saves me when I need some answers. And my friends on my text list, I will text them in a heartbeat, is
Okay.
asking for help.
All right. Now I'm gonna say something about ChatGPT using up all our resources
I know
and giving incorrect answers.
it has helped me not die in the ocean.
The
I,
other day, my friend was talking about something that ChatGPT did for her, and I was like, "Well, I can't say that's not a valid use.
yeah, you
I
know what?
can't say not dying in the ocean. I It sounds like I'm gonna
I
withhold judgment on that
recognize it.
particular use case. I'm gonna withhold judgment.
I recognize it, but I also realize that I needed some help. And sometimes I needed some help really quick. So that it has been very useful in trying to navigate all of this. So
Okay.
whew.
Um, Celeste wants to know, is the Coast Guard available for assistance if needed?
Oh, yes, we got buzzed by the Coast Guard one night at 1 a.m.
What
Yay.
what that mean?
We were passing Cape Canaveral and there was a rocket launch, and it appears that we weren't far enough offshore. And
Oh,
so the Coast Guard decided to send a helicopter out to circle us and talk to me. I was on my watch, and of course, I'm just like, it's like a movie. It's just like quiet, and then you just like, like, okay, like I think they're coming for us. And the guy, he was really chill, which is so weird. Hey, you know what's going on today? Like, yeah, rocket launch. He was like, okay, I need you to go, set your course for 120 degrees for another hour. I'm like, okay, something's about to happen. We were
okay.
in the debris field for
Oh,
the rocket launch, and luckily it went and nothing fell over our head. So
okay.
yay, that. It's pretty cool to see at night, though. It was terrifying, but cool.
Okay.
But as far as the Coast Guard, yes, the Coast Guard is available. I'm gonna drop some things here that won't make any sense to anyone, but we have this thing called an EPIRB, which is a satellite device that once it hits the water, it will contact the Coast Guard, and then all resources will come at us. I have a Garmin InReach that I stay in contact with family, and one of the things that I learned early on is that you got to have a sail plan. So, and you send this sail plan to whoever you trust. And in it, it says, I am going from Fort Pierce to Key West. Here's the Coast Guard. If you don't hear from me by this hour, here's who the people you need to call. And so we have a lot of that going on, but we have VHF radio. So we'll reach out to the Coast Guard, and we have that for a while. And Starlink is on the boat as well, so we're good for up to 11 miles offshore.
Okay.
So yeah, people, there are resources. They may not be there as fast, but for the most part, we've just been coastal cruising. So we've just been off the coast of Florida about 5 to 10 miles offshore. So I can always point the boat to shore and crash up on the beach if we need to.
Okay. You mentioned Starlink,
Hmm.
but Tori says your internet and sound are on point. Is that what you're
Thank
using
you.
for your internet?
Yeah. Yeah. The only way we've been able to do the RV, and honestly, there's no other way to have internet while out to sea, is with
Uh-huh.
Starlink. I know.
We do what we can in this world,
I
right?
know. You
What we
just like, man, like why you create something that's so useful that I need.
Man, why you? Why you?
Exactly. That's why I have to create my own water to kind of offset this load.
Okay. And that was another question by Kat. What do you mean I make my own water?
I have a desalinator. So
Okay.
we take the ocean water. It goes through a desalination process here on the boat, and it goes into my water tank. So um, I can make my own fresh water from the salt water here.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep. And so
Is that
power is solar. So as long as the sun is out, I make power.
okay? And store it? Do you have some kind of power?
Yeah.
I don't know how this works.
Yeah, we
Yes.
have batteries. So yeah, you have the
It charges
batteries for the.
the sun
Yep.
charges the batteries that you can use later on when there is no
Yep.
sun. Look at you.
Yep. And if worst case, we turn the engines on, and that powers the batteries as well.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Cool. All right. There was a question. Oh, Jalen wants to know, has climate change impacted how you map out your routes?
Climate change. Oh, there. I will say I'm very new to this, so it hasn't changed anything that I see yet, but we get charts. And so I have a chart plotter. So it's a
Mhm.
map, and it's like scouted out like the depths of everywhere. Um, Natural changes in the ocean will shift the bottoms of things. So, like when you're sailing through the Bahamas, you have to be careful because it's already shallow, and nature does this thing. But the climate change, the biggest thing I've noticed is just the weather, with all of these fronts and all of the storms coming up out of during hurricane season, those will probably be the biggest impact of slowing you down and getting you to places. It does change coastlines, but it kind of depends on what kind of sailing you're doing. Um, and where you are. In ICW, you'll see it more. If you're open ocean, you probably won't see as much, other than the biggest impact you'll see will be from the commercial fishing people when you get far offshore. And that's just so upsetting what they're doing out there.
The commercial fishing.
Yeah. It's like little cities of boats just dragging the ocean for,
Mm,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Let's not get too mad this early in the morning.
No, listen, I love a good rant at 10 a.m. Listen,
That ain't a rant.
I love a,
That's a rage fest.
I, l- I was about to tell you what I ranted about last week, and then I realized it would just
That's a
upset
whole
me
other
again.
hour.
It
I
would
know.
upset me again.
Sometimes, like, I don't need to be upset. I was gonna go to the farmers market after this to get flowers. So let's save being upset until Wednesday. There you go.
Perfect. All right, so not the farmer's market. So you just take the dinghy
Yep.
and then
I just
dock
walked to the yep,
at the
I
dock.
dock, walk to the farmers market. It's in the park, and they have jazz, and they have all kinds of other things over there. So I'll probably get some lunch and get some flowers. Um, and then come back and just enjoy the rest of the day.
So you get to live a very American experience without dealing with white people?
You can. You can. Because you could just float away.
Interesting.
Like float away. Like literally like, oh, y'all about that today. Let me go float away from y'all.
Your neighbors aren't, if the neighbor puts up the Trump flag, you can just be like, and I'm out.
Yes. And we have done that. We've anchored. I was like,
Interesting.
anger boat. Let's go ahead and pick up this anchor and go somewhere else.
Interesting. I like it. I would think, like, you talked about going to get eggs earlier, and I would think like you land and you've got to do like all of the like job things, the laundry, the eggs, the this, the
Hmm.
that, the gasoline. But you go into the farmer's market for flowers. That's not how
Yeah.
I imagined your life.
And see, and for getting gasoline, it's just marine. I just go up to the dock. My dock master, he's a young black man. He's gorgeous. You just go up there, get the gas, and just come back. If y'all need me to get the tea on him, let me know.
Someone, when you say young, how young are we talking about?
I'm thinking he looks 30s.
Ladies, if you're looking for someone in your 30s who lives
Got
in
boating experience. Yeah.
Stuart, Florida, and has boating experience,
Hmm.
holler at Felicia. You can holler at Felicia in the Exodus Summit community. Y'all know we're there. She's in there. Because you were a speaker at
Yeah.
2022 summits,
Yeah. And I talked about having an online subscription service so that you can go travel.
and you still have an online subscription
I
service.
do.
How's that going?
You know what? It's not bad. It can be better, but only because I've been putting so much energy into learning how to sail.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, just life changes. You just have to choose. But putting more into it this year. But other than that, it's been going well. It's going well. I can't complain too much. Mm.
Okay. All right. The audience is interested in Boating Bay, but I don't. A couple people have asked for his father, so I don't.
For his father, I will
Age
go
wise.
tea. I will go get the tea, and I'll jump back in the community. I'll let you know because he's always there because he has to help. He helps me dock when I take the boat up there.
Uh-huh.
When we take the big boat, so I'll get the tea, and he likes dogs. I already know that.
Okay. And your dog is very
Mhm.
cute, so
Yeah, she's a little old lady now, so she's doing well.
okay. Angela Rochelle said, if you need a volunteer,
You
if
know
you're
what? If
looking for a
anybody,
volunteer.
if anybody is interested in just coming hanging out on the boat, I'm here in Stewart. Um, we don't do happy hours. They call them sundowners. Um, I make a mean margarita and great pina coladas, and it's very entertaining because there are tons of boats going by, and It's a pretty cool little experience. I will say this, out of all the things that I've done, this experience is just fascinating to me. It- I'm still mind blown every day when I just wake up and like, yep, I live on a boat. And my
That
entertainment is watching other boats go by.
that sounds pretty like that's a it's an experience I'm sure a lot of us could like never imagine
I
having,
still can't
right?
imagine it. I still can't imagine it.
And you've
And
been doing
and the
it for 6
beautiful
months.
thing and the beautiful thing is you're right, when you have everything together and you don't really have a timetable, like you said, when people start acting up, it's just like, you know what? Let's go ahead and hit the Caribbean. We're out of here.
This was lovely. I must go.
You can literally just up and go. That's it.
Oh, I love a quick exit. I love
You
a
can it
this was
takes
so much
what? It
fun.
takes 30
Oh,
minutes just to hit the inlet and it's a straight shot from here to the Bahamas.
how long have you been in Stewart? How long do you plan on being in? Like, are you anchored there for a while?
Yeah, we've been here for a month, so we'll be here until mid-April, and then we're gonna go up to St. Augustine, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We have at least one regular sailor in the community, and she showed
Oh,
up late to this video. I don't know why.
where is she? I need to meet her. I need friends.
Dara says she's sailing out of St. Martin in July. She does
Ah.
sailing excursions with her sailing friends. I never been invited to one of these sailing excursions, but she takes
Oh,
them.
are you we got to figure out if she's gonna be here. Um, because I think we're gonna go up the coast for the rest of this year, and then we're gonna hit the Caribbean February of next year.
Okay. Okay, so she goes sailing every year, like I said, on these
Mhm.
boating excursions. I never been invited on, probably because, like you said, nobody sails for free, and we got to do some
You
work, and
gotta do
nobody
some work. I mean,
knows.
for your safety, it would be in your best interest to pay attention.
She was talking about cooking for the whole boat and doing dishes for the whole stuff like that, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you gotta chip in and cook and do some dishes and stuff.
and that's why I'll take a cruise because
That's why you just do a day sail. You just come out for the day, you go out for 2 hours, and then come back and leave.
okay, I have done that before as a
Yep.
commercial experience, but doing that with friends would be fun.
Oh,
But
it's
yeah,
so much fun. I
days?
haven't had any visitors yet to take out on the
No?
boat, so I'm waiting. I have one
Okay,
friend. She's coming when we go up to St. Augustine, so I'm
okay.
excited.
Well, a related question. Mosin07 wants to know, how did your family and friends back home take it when you set off for sail?
Y'all know my family thinks I'm crazy. Oh, they are still like, well, so when you gonna buy a house and when you gonna like settle down? I was like, we already did the house thing, you know. Some are still asking, like when you gonna start having kids. It was like I'm almost 50, like we're done with that. So, but no, the family thinks I'm crazy. Husband's family think it's kind of cool. I think they still think it's crazy, but they just ask a lot of questions. But I think it's still kind of like I've been the weird one since day one, so it doesn't matter at this point.
Okay. All right. So I think it's crazy, but they weren't like that surprised. They were like, yeah, there she go. There she go again on an adventure.
Yeah, there she go. I just like, when you travel, it's like, where'd you go last weekend? Oh, like we were in Thailand. They were like, oh, okay, that's what you do now. Like, yep,
Okay.
they're
All
used to
right.
it now. They're used to it.
All right. Okay. So you've done this boat for 6 months. You think this might be a 10-year adventure.
Hmm.
Um, I have seen one comment that said this is not for brokies, and another one that said this is not for dusties. And I think this would be a great time to talk about not the price of the boat, but the expenses associated with the experience. Is once you have your boat, is this an expensive life to live?
It can be. And it
Okay.
all depends on how you get into it. So you can still get a cheaper boat. You're still going to drop some money. I would say probably at the cheapest $30,000, but let's just be realistic. It's going to be a fixer upper. So if you have the time and the money to do a fixer upper, and you will be putting in some years to get it going, Or you could just get a smaller boat and just do day sails and just kind of go back and forth and just do that. I think it all depends on what your goals are. Our neighbors, their goal is to sail around the world. They bought a 30-year-old boat and it's already broken down after a month. So they're next to us. And I'm hoping that they don't lose energy with this because you don't know what you don't know.
Mhm.
But you it can be expensive. A lot of people do work their way while they're fixing their boat, or you get into bartering to get people to help you out, but just be realistic. Yeah, you're going to have some money to do this. If you get a new boat, it makes life a little easier because you're dealing with warranties and stuff, but new boats ain't cheap.
New boat. Say I have some money put aside. What's a new boat that I'm gonna feel comfortable sailing on gonna run me? You can ballpark it, or you can give me
If we're
low.
talking catamarans, which are different than monohulls, um
I don't know
you
what you're
can
saying.
go.
I don't
We need pictures. So a regular boat that you see on television is a monohull. So it's just a boat, just a regular boat. And a
Oh, yeah,
catamaran
no, I
has
know
the
that.
two
Okay,
hulls.
has a
Yeah,
2
yeah,
thing.
yeah. There you go.
Yes. Okay.
Um Power boats will be a little bit cheaper, but gas, and you see it,
Mhm.
gas is about 6.19 right now, like for per gallon, which is expensive. So you're going to spend all your money with gas. So I would say a boat that you're comfortable with, you can get an older one for about 200,000. You can get a newer one probably about 500
500,000
at the lower end for a new one.
on the
At the low end
low end?
for a new one, yeah. Depends on how, let's just be real honest. Depends on how you're trying to flex.
Okay, so when you
You
said
could get a
30,000
few
earlier,
million. Mm-hmm.
stop. We gonna stop. We gonna stop this conversation. Tap out at 500 real quick. But when you said for 30,000, I was like, well, that's like I was look my car
40,
price
40-year-old boat.
my car price is locked in from like the late 90s, early 2000s. So cars in my brain cost what they cost back then. I know that's not factual, but my brain does what my brain does.
I,
So when
I
you said
get it
that,
because
I was
cars are
like,
expensive now.
that's like a luxury car, but like having a boat for the price, I could see that being a trade off. But no, you're talking about a house. You're talking about you're not talking about a boat or a car. You're talking about a boat or a house.
We're talking about those are 30, 40-year-old boats.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
And
I get
they're
it. I just didn't realize that that's what we were saying.
yeah. Yeah.
So for a new boat, it's not car prices, it's house prices.
Yes, house price. These are house prices. Yes.
I did
Yes.
not know that. Who got a
Yes.
house they don't want and want to donate to the cause?
Or you could just be crew on somebody else's boat and just hang out with them. Just find a friend with a boat.
Wait, Michelle said 200,000 gay older. Oh, wait, no, that's not. Okay, I'm buying 300,000 fixer uppers. What I was looking for was Octavia, who said 500,000, you still have to buy this World War III price gas. Crazy.
If you get a sailboat, you only fill up like every 3 to 4 months. So there you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Yeah.
How much does it
If
cost
you
to
get a
fill?
power boat, if you do a power boat, that's a whole different. They burn. That's probably at least $1,000 to fill up every time they go out
How much
because you
does it
want to go
cost?
fast.
I don't. I'm. This is also for Black girls, Black women. I think we need to be on the water. Who knew this life was right there? Only $500,000 away from us.
You know what? Go in with a friend. You don't have any bills. You just have to have a bill for your internet. You make your own water. You only fill up every now and then.
Okay.
You can catch your own food, which a lot of people do. If you like seafood, if you like lobster and things like that.
Oh, do you guys ever
Yeah.
do that?
We haven't gone yet. My husband is definitely he's a fisherman. That's a whole new world for me. So I got to get used to that.
Okay.
But yeah, you could definitely catch your own food and everything.
All right.
So
Y'all, I'm confusion. I knew boats were expensive. I did not think they were house. They were
yeah,
house.
yeah. I
I
mean,
did
on the lower end, when you're hitting like 500, unfortunately, you're in the affordable range. A lot of these boats, you're hitting 1.2, 2 million, 3 million. These are, and I'm not talking about the big, like super yachts. That's a whole different other ball game of boat. But you
not.
can get some boats cheaper than that. Depends on what you're willing to do.
Stephanie loves yachts. So once I went to check out the rental price of a super yacht, and I was like, close the
Oh, girl,
laptop.
no, no,
Close.
no, no,
I
no,
was like,
no,
per
no.
day, the per day price. I was like, close.
Oh, no, no, no.
I
You're
love
looking
you,
at
girl, but
about
not in, no, no, no
1,500 a
way.
day
I
with
said, oh,
without a captain.
girl, close the boat. I said, oh, no, no, thank you.
That's why you just
Mm,
need to make friends with people with boats,
okay, all right.
and they'll take
I
you out. I got
I
the
love
camera.
that
I do
idea.
photography, so
Okay. Woo, child. I did not know that's what we were talking about. So I'm glad we got there. Okay, so once you have your $1 million boat,
invite me, please.
no, your boat's the $1 million boat. We're all we're all relying on your boat being the $1 million boat. Now that you have your $1 million boat, what are your monthly expenses like?
Monthly expenses, we're spending about on average $3,000 a month, and a lot of that is, is it three? To be honest, about 2,500. The only bills that I have: cell phone, internet. We do some spending because we can, and everything else we typically pay for the year. So insurance is going to be high because we're brand new. It'll start coming down the more time on the water we have, um, and that's about it. Like we paid for everything in cash, so we have no debt.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
about 2,500, 3,000 a month.
you are living a life.
Yeah.
Alive. All right. I see people want to know more about this boat and the life. They want photos of the dog. They want to see the dog. I think someone asked to see the man. People want to see stuff. Phylecia has a channel. It's linked below
Yeah.
in the
It's not
description.
it's not it's there's a channel there. I'm still getting to all the videos and putting them up there, but yeah, it's getting there, and I'm about to break down and do like room by room of the boat so people can see it and things like that. So, but it's
Friends,
pretty cool. It's a pretty cool experience. I will say I have been blessed and lucky with some of the moves I've made throughout life that have gotten
mhm,
me here. So I'm just gonna enjoy the hell out of it.
I love it.
There's a
Friends,
lot of people that don't want you to enjoy things right now.
no, no. Friends, subscribe to Felicia's channel so you can see what it's like to live on $1 million boat. Because no matter what she tells me from now on, I know her boat is $1 million boat. Is it based on any factual information? No. But it's a nice even number. So let's go see
There you
what a
go.
$1 million boat looks like on her channel. Subscribe and follow along. $1 million boat. And they asking about a house.
We
Rude.
sold the house. The house is fun. We've done that.
Woo! All right. Some other good questions I remember from the
Hmm.
chat. Y'all, there are a lot of they want to know. Um, back. Jalen wants to know, how do visas work when you're traveling through international waters?
You know what? That's a fun one. It operates very differently. It's the same. It's the same as when you're going into a country by air. It's
Mhm.
just different in that I actually get to just get on land and walk to the customs office. So, like going into the Bahamas, you go online, you put in all of your work about who's coming with you. You put in information about the boat. If you have a dog, you have to pay all these fees to have a boat in the Bahamas. It's an online process, so only one person from the boat can leave the boat and take everybody's passport. You go, you clear in the boat first, because this is the thing: the boat is a different entity than you. So you have to clear as a human, then your boat has to clear. So, and the boat's visa basically is like 12 months, whereas yours, you get to ask how long you want to stay. So in the Bahamas, they were like, how long you want to stay? Like, I want to stay 120 days. Okay, stamp, go. Um, it's a fascinating process because it's just not like an airport. You just My husband, we got on the dinghy, he dropped me off at the beach. I walked from the beach to the street, went to the customs office. They look at my paperwork. They're like, you're good. Now I have to go clear in as the person. You still do that little form that you get on the airplane. You
Mhm.
fill that out. The guy just asks, like, hey, how long you want to stay here? And you just tell them how long. They stamp you and you go about your business. Um, and then when you go to a different country, depending on where you're leaving from, you have to check out of the country. So you'll have paperwork to check in. And it's the same process everywhere. You just, anchor up. Some places depend, like if you're in French Polynesia, they will come out to you, inspect the boat, do your paperwork, get your passport stamped, things like that. Or you just, go to the place, you walk into town, go to the customs office, check the boat in, check your dog in, check yourself in, and that's it. One of the things that's kind of neat, we have to raise a quarantine flag. So whenever we get to a different country, we raise a yellow flag that says we haven't checked in yet. And once we have checked in, we raise the flag of the country we are in. So
When you said my husband just dropped me off at the beach, I was like, I think they're pirates. Y'all sound like pirates.
it felt like it, because when we got to Bimini, and I saw this man just watch me, because we just pulled up. He kind of like landed on the beach. I jumped off and I pushed him back out, and the guy just waved at me, and I was like, "Hey!" And then I just walked up to the street and just walked down to the customs office. It feels that way.
It feels a little bit like,
Yeah.
I don't know, 1902. I don't know.
Nobody's searching you, and in some of these islands, there's only one person, so you got to wait for them to come to work.
Oh.
Uh, so it's very less stressful, a little bit more paperwork oriented, but not like going through the airport where, it looks like they're interrogating you
Mhm.
your entire life. But so yeah, you just have to check in for the boat, check yourself in. When it gets to Europe, it's a little different. And it's way too much to go through, but it's like your boat can stay, but you still have to do the passport hop, so that people will leave their boat, go back, stay a day wherever they are, and then come back into the country. So it still operates a little bit of the
Oh,
same way. Yeah.
okay. Okay. Um, your dog has to get checked. Oh, what if you don't? What if you're just like, who gonna check me, boo? And you just park outside of their waters. Do
Keep
they
that
check you?
quarantine flag up. As long as you don't touch land, and they don't come to you. If not, they just tell you to check in. Unfortunately or fortunately, there's a lot of bribing going on. So as long as you got some alcohol on board, you might be able to get whatever you want.
It's not even like I need you to slide over. I see you on your million dollar boat, and I need $5,000. It's like you got a case of beer. It's like
They can do that, but you could be like, I don't have that cash on me. So
I got this bottle though.
yeah, depends on
Okay,
which countries you're going into. But y'all didn't hear that from me though.
give us the tips for our future boating lives when we all have $1 million boats.
Yeah,
All of
every
us.
country is different. Now, I will say it is interesting being a black woman going into these countries. So you got to realize where the information is coming from.
Hmm.
There is a lot of prejudice in how they tell you this is how you behave when you're in the Bahamas, and I'm like, really? Okay, go ahead, keep telling me what you
Like
think you
the
should do.
customs officers are telling you this?
No, the other boaters.
Oh, like
Yeah,
like any white
because
person
yes,
can
because
tell us how
it's
to behave.
yeah, they were, one guy was like, make sure you say hello to them because they get mad when you don't say hello. I was like, so basically home training? I'm like, y'all, I was like, y'all walking into people's offices not saying, hey, like, come on. But so you have to take the information with a grain of salt to who's giving it to you. But I will say, being a Black woman going through, like, because people had these lists, you need to do this, take this amount of money. I walked in, girl looked at me, she was like, you got the paper? Like, yeah. She took it in the back. All right, you good. Just go down the street and go check in. Like, and
Thank
then
you.
because people have these stories like, yeah, they wouldn't let me check in. I was like, oh, that was like 5 minutes. I was like, I was done.
Like sometimes, right? Not all the time, but sometimes it's a
It
privilege.
helps.
It's
It is.
always a joy,
Yes.
but sometimes it's also a privilege,
Yes, it is.
right?
It is.
Yes, she saw
I was
me
like,
and said, "She knows I got it together."
yeah, she was
And I
like, you got that
walked in
paperwork?
with home training, right?
Yes. Didn't even need the paperwork for the dog after all that.
What dog? What dog? All right, there are a lot of questions about the dog, though. People want to know, is the dog getting walks? What's going on? How are you managing? What's the deal with now the dog is only like 2 inches tall. He got them little legs. So I don't think he needs that much walking. But tell us.
She's bigger. She's bigger than that. She's in her senior phase, but we go to shore maybe like once or twice a day. We have to train her to use the bathroom on the boat. So with our catamaran, we have a trampoline. I have some mulch set
Ooh,
out for her so that she can go. She doesn't like going when the boat's moving. I think the water underneath freaks her out, when we're
me
moving.
too.
But there's a park here. Most places I scout out so that I'll know where a park is. So we just go to the park. She gets to hang out at the park. Then we get back in the boat and then come back home. So she gets walked on good days, maybe 2 or 3 times. Like when I need to go to the office and go get my eggs, she'll come and we'll take her and we just go hang out and then come back to the boat and sit here and watch everybody else.
Amazing. Okay. They cared about the dog. There were multiple questions. What
Oh,
you look
this dog, we have her medications, we have seasick medication for her. We have beds for her. She has her offshore, she has her offshore life jacket and she has her inshore life jacket. She's on all paperwork. People know that if anything goes wrong, there's a dog on board. Um, I have all kinds I got an AED, girl. I am prepared to keep everybody alive for at least 48 hours.
A related question. The ladies have been ready for this. Mosin07 says, "How do you and your husband meet your healthcare needs while at sea? Do you typically make planned stops on shore for that?"
Yes. So he still works a 9 to 5. So we still have insurance coverage and we have the high deductible health plan. So I can pretty much bounce in and out of anywhere. I'm still officially a resident of Colorado. So,
Hmm.
so that's where I pay taxes and vote maybe. We'll see about that. But no, I can jump in and out of the healthcare things and he with his insurance we have the teledoc. So I'm down on all of that. So everywhere I go, I make sure I know where the latest doctor is. So, I do my mammograms here in Stewart. And because boating is very seasonal, most people right now are going north because it gets hot in Florida. And then once the fall comes, everybody comes south because nobody wants to be cold. So I kind of time it that way so that, you know, whenever I get back to Stewart, I schedule all of our doctor's appointments. We knock them out, even for the dog. And so that's kind of how I manage. Once we start leaving the country more, then I still have to do a little bit more research on how we handle that. But I try to find doctors as I go, and I keep them.
Mhm.
I have my little special list of doctors in Instagram, so I'll know who I need to call in case something goes down.
Okay, that's cool that like you have that set up and that you still have a healthcare plug
Yeah.
because health insurance is stupid. Why do we
Yeah. And to be honest, y'all, from other people that I've met that leave the country, it's just much easier outside of like Panama. It's just much easier once you leave the United States to get what
I
you need.
don't understand.
Girl, it's not Wednesday. We can't rage today.
Oh, sorry.
It's not Wednesday.
Woo! Ooh.
Trust me, I know. We gotta save that for Wednesday.
Okay, we're back. We're back, y'all. We're back.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what is the thing that surprised you most about your boating experience?
The lack of it? No. Um, what has surprised me the most is that I really want to get good at this. Like,
Okay.
I want to be good at this, and then I eventually want to get my captain's license. That has been the thing that has kind of like, I don't know, it just came out of nowhere. Because you can do most of these things. You can be the passenger princess, which there are a lot of those in the boatyard, or in the marina, of just kind of, the woman who's just kind of is there. But like, no, I'm trying to step up and make sure I'm the captain of this boat, you know. So, and just own it, and just I want to be really good at this, and then eventually I would love to just take other people out, because it's a very freeing experience. And it has all the emotions. I mean, it is fun, exhilarating, scary, make you puke at the same time. It is just a wave of emotions.
Okay. Do you and what is the part of boating that you enjoy the most?
Hmm. Oh, wow. I may be too early to answer that question, because it's still formulating, like, what I really like about it, because I can't really find the right words for it yet.
Mhm.
Right now, the thing that I like is that I am somewhat disconnected from everything else, and just realizing that I kind of control this as much as I can, that I can just float away whenever I'm ready. And then being able to just wake up to this view is still, it's kind of mind blowing. You just wake up and it's like, man, it is beautiful. The water here isn't as pretty, but like waking up in the Bahamas, oh my goodness. It was like, okay, whose life is this?
Okay, it's your life. It's
I,
your life.
I
You did the
know.
work. Like it's surreal,
Yes.
but like I walked into a church today, but also walking through a museum today. I was like, it's Easter. I'm in a museum in Vienna. This is my life. Like I
Does it
don't
still
quite
hit
know how
you?
I got here, but this is my life.
And you've been doing this for a while. Does it still, like, every now and then it just hits you like, man, this is cool as hell?
I'm in Vienna in a museum on Easter Sunday. I saw today a black listen. I'm gonna leave boating and talk about churches, another place where I don't know nothing. I'm gonna say the wrong words. Walk with me though. I'm walking past this Russian Orthodox church in Vienna, Austria. I see they're in the courtyard. The kids are playing and the old people are talking to the holy man. What do they call him? I don't know. The pastor, the preacher, he wasn't wearing no big hat, but he was wearing one of those wraparound
Hmm.
robes, black ones to the floor. Okay. No collar, just the robe.
Yeah.
He doing something, looks like he's doing something religious, something, something, something in the courtyard, something, something. A black man. I said, oh, life is strange.
In a Russian
Well,
Orthodox church.
in a
Interesting.
Russian Orthodox church in Vienna, Austria, I saw a
Hmm.
black holy religious man doing religion. He was now. I saw a black man wearing a black cloak in the courtyard of a Russian Orthodox church. I don't know those people. I
Yeah.
assume the way they were deferring to him, he was their guy. He was their connect with Big G, but I don't really know because I don't know what they were speaking. Guess Russian. I don't know. Any hoodle, yes. See, like I walk through life, I see things like
Yeah.
that, and I'm like, how did he get here? But also, how did I get here to witness this? And I think there's not enough, we don't allow for enough of that in our lives. Enough of
No.
think of all the things that had to happen for me to be here. We think about that in the negative context. when negative things happen, right? But when the positive things happen of like that blue boat been behind you stalking you for at least an hour and a half, just stalking you. You don't do you know them boat people?
We're on a mooring ball, so they're still, they're not moving.
But do you know them? Do you know them boat people?
No, they came in the other day. I don't know them. Not yet.
You got random boat stalkers.
I know.
Walk with me. You got random boat stalkers, just fans, just hanging out just to be near you. Who thought 20 years ago? Could you have imagined this?
I couldn't imagine this even 5 years ago to some degree. Like,
After you,
even
even after
like,
you put the deposit down.
because people are like, what would you tell your 15-year-old self, 20-year-old self? I was like, what would I tell my 40-year-old self? Like, girl, you're gonna be living on a boat, like for
Hello.
real. Like, it still blows my mind. And I guess it's kind of the people in the community, since I know you talk to them the most. Do you think everyone is there yet, or do they everybody has these moments of like, man, like this is my life?
I I would say that those moments are available for all of us no matter where we are, but we
Hmm.
don't often recognize them or realize they're happening, right?
Hmm.
And lean into it. Cuz
How do we take a moment to enjoy that?
a lot of us are living lives that like we're like, "Wait, how did this you know what? I'm a rock with it. I don't know how I got here. I that the sequence of events that led me to
Hmm.
here is like a dream. I've done so many things in my life that
Yes.
young Rashida could never imagine. And I know that old Rashida is gonna blow 46-year-old Rashida's brain. She's gonna be like, "You did what?"
But
Right?
it's fascinating when you just take that moment and everybody watching, like you just literally take that moment. I used to do this with my clients. I would make a list of the 50 coolest things you've ever done in your life. And people are like, well, I didn't do anything that cool. I only worked on the DMZ in North Korea. I'm like, that ain't cool. You still alive, girl. That's a whole
You made
drama
it.
that thing happening. Like, come on. Like, we have
Uh-huh.
to remember these things. And I had a friend who just called me out one time because in my I was in a marching band and I was the feature baton twirler. And I was just like, well, I haven't done anything cool in my life. He was like, so everybody just performs in front of 70,000 people? I was like, he was like, but you did that. I'm like, oh, like everybody don't do that. He's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay.
Also,
I had to step back, like, okay, that's a cool moment.
I don't need you to challenge my reality. Excuse me. Excuse me. I said no. But yeah, like we all have these moments. We just it's sometimes it's hard to see them. Um,
Oh, we got to remember those, because those are
we have
just,
those moments.
because this moment right now, just all those cliche things, go live life, I'm here to live everything, like you got to remember that, because man, this is just amazing. um just these moments of just like, okay, I get to do this. And I love that thing of like, I am my ancestors wildest dream, because ain't nobody who was dreaming this.
Listen. Nichelle says summer oh wait, no, wrong thing.
Mhm.
Summer living lives of quiet inspiration, as the saying goes.
Mm.
Factually accurate, yes. But I still think that even in those lives, because I have been there are moments of joy. And if you don't really hold on to that joy, you stay in the desperation,
Yes.
right? If you don't say everything's gone to shit. But I saw a dog hopping down the street today on three legs, and it was absolutely adorable and determined. And that brought me a glimmer. There was a glimmer of joy, right? There was that glimmer, right?
Mhm.
Did I expect to see a man when I woke up this morning walking a three-legged dog or being walked by a three-legged dog? Because that's really what was happening. No, I didn't,
But it
right?
brought you some joy.
We have to hold on to those joyful moments.
You have
Because
to.
World War III is coming, and I know we're not supposed to be ranting today. The audience has voted for Rage Wednesday in the comments. They have voted for that. I know we're
Right?
not. I know we're not ranting today,
But you
but
got to find that joy.
it might be time to start living like the nuclear
There,
fallout is in 6 months to a year.
there's a lot of people that don't want you to have joy. And I will say this as a Black woman, and one thing I have realized over the years, and I know the audience is heavily U.S. Women. This country is mentally and spiritually unhealthy, and you're gonna have to find some glimmers of joy, um, because there's people who don't want you to have it for whatever reason, and and you got to protect this like you're protecting your 401k, because you don't want to go through and I know this is going to sound really cheesy, but you don't want to. You will probably be on this planet for a very long time, and you're going to have to lean into those joy moments. You're going to have to, because there are going to be some moments that's going to make you say, what the world is going on here?
Yes.
And not everybody will be able to just float away in the ocean on purpose.
But you can in your $1 million boat. Absolutely.
I have room for one other person who wants to be crew. No.
It's that crew part. It's that crew part. All right. Nidra says, my life is better than what I had planned for it's way better than what I had planned for myself. And I think that's true for a lot more people than might actually think about on the surface. My life is bigger than what I had planned for myself. Right.
I love that. I love that she said that, because that's, I mean, it really is amazing. Like when you really think like, I don't know what I planned for my life. It wasn't this, but goodness, this is pretty cool.
This is pretty cool.
This is
listen. You just, like I said, you got the stalkers, you got the people hanging out. There's the cute young guy at the dock. He likes your dog. You can go. You're walking to the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Oh,
getting my flowers.
Speaking of walking, leads me to another exercise called swimming, and everyone is very concerned about whether you and your husband can swim. Very concerned about that.
He can swim. I'm not the best ocean swimmer. Let's just say your goal is not to get into the ocean that often around. Like if you're in the ocean, you got problems. You wait to swim when you're close to the coast, and say a place like Bahamas. And most of the time the water here is, you don't want to get in this water. It's a little, yeah. But we do have to get into the boat to go clean some things on the outside, and we have wetsuits, snorkel gear. We keep lines up so that you can have something to grab onto. I have all of my, it's above me right now. I have life jackets, swim buoys, all kinds of things. So my goal is to become a better ocean swimmer. I could do pools and things like that, but the ocean has just never been something. I mean, I didn't grow up around an ocean on a regular basis.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you
don't need to know how to swim. Just don't be scared of the water. That's going to be the biggest thing. Just not to be afraid of the water.
Okay. So you don't need to know how to swim to be, because that what people were like, not doing it, can't swim, can't ocean swim. But you don't need to be. You just need to not be afraid of the water.
Girl, listen, sharks out there. Ain't nobody getting in that water.
I don't like. I think the thought was involuntarily getting in the water. Like what happens if you involuntarily, if your depth meter wasn't set correctly.
All right. We have life jackets, and we have personal locator devices inside the life jacket. So as soon as those things go off, it goes up into the satellite, and people come find you. Like I also have a life raft, everything. Girl, I got safety down.
When your life vest, it's not gonna happen. But if your life vest were to hit the water, it would tell other boaters in the area.
No, so we have
like the government. What's happening?
It's a personal locator device, and so you buy it separately, and I put it inside of the life jacket. So when it's deployed, it goes off on its own.
Okay, but when you say go off, you said people will come. Who is it telling? Who knows if
Um,
you're in the water?
for this particular life one, it'll send a satellite message that alerts anybody in the vicinity,
That's
other
what I want.
boats, and
Okay.
other people that can help you. But
So
typically, it will be another boat that will come and help you. That is one thing in the boating world. If I see somebody in distress, you have to go help them.
okay. You can't be like, he cut in front of me at the marina when we were getting gas. So
You shouldn't do that
it's not funny.
because you know that petty will be there. Like, let me think about this.
Is that Frank? Remember that time? We're
Like,
not
oh,
doing
there's a
that.
cargo ship. That cargo ship got him. He good.
They're fine. They got him. They got him. Somebody else can get him. Oh, he fell off the boat drinking again? Okay, well, how many times can I get him?
Yeah, don't be drinking, y'all. That ain't good. That ain't good.
Okay, Kate Jordan wants to know how you prepare for hurricane season.
You leave. I mean, to be honest, if you have the means and the ability, what you do for hurricane season is you just leave. So hurricane season, say in the Bahamas, officially starts like June 1st. So
Mhm.
most people will take their boats and go to the Chesapeake Bay. So people will
Okay.
go to Maryland or
Oh,
north.
okay.
So that's where everybody goes. Everybody goes north during hurricane season. It kicks in around here around August. And then November, everybody comes back. If you can't move, they have things called hurricane holes. And so you have to go find a place that is protected by land and you tie up. You literally get every line out and tie to all the trees, poles, whatever you can so that you don't move.
Them boats be in them trees, huh?
If you don't try tie up properly,
I my goal was to get more women interested in living in boats, and I think I think I may be failing at this.
you know what?
Woo!
You could just do a charter and just stay in the boat and then leave. Let somebody else deal with all that.
Because if I had to tie the knot to stay, the boat would be in the tree.
No. If you come on the boat, that's one thing. You will learn how to do at least one knot, just in case.
Okay. All right.
Or you gonna be an expert. You gotta leave the nails at home.
I'm gonna be like, I think this is the way the knot got tied. Oh, randomly, speaking of boating, my last boating incident was we were in Italy a couple days ago in Cinque Terre, and there was a ferry coming in, and the guy started speaking Italian to my friend. What are we saying? I don't know. I think he's telling him to move because they're about to dock.
Probably.
Probably lot cool. Nah, that man throws a rope at him. He catches a rope and then he's like, nah, just attach it to the thingamajig.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you help out.
Right,
Yeah.
but like
Just help out.
this is a paid operation. Y'all think like what happened if nobody was here? We were like, if we weren't here, what would you have
He knows how
meant?
to do it. He knows how to do it on his own. But
I
if
said,
somebody is there, just help out. That's all.
you hollering at this man in Italian. He don't speak no, and then he just threw a rope. I said, oh well,
Just help out. Just help out. That's all he needs you to do.
these boating operations just be doing any old thing. This man
He
could have
kind
just
of
thrown
do.
the boat in the water and said, I don't know you. I don't do labor for free. He didn't, but he could.
That is one thing about boating. It is kind of like, all right, you just anchor wherever you want. You stop like I'm gonna stop right here for the night and I'm done.
Eh, but you have to make sure you're not in like the way of anything, right?
Yeah, you just make sure you're not in the way and you're good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you could like literally just anchor anywhere. That's safe.
Okay. Okay.
So see, that's how you don't pay. That's how a lot of people don't pay rent or anything. You just
Oh.
anchor. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Only marinas you pay a lot of money in marinas, but if you anchor, like most people anchor and don't pay anything. I don't know. See,
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. 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 Oh, Glass. Oh, Glass Everfull changed her name. Okay. Okay. Okay, friends. It was
You
Glass
saw
Half Full.
Aspen.
Uh, cute doggy.
Yeah.
Cute
She's
doggy.
doing, unfortunately, she went to the ER last weekend.
Oh.
Um, yeah, she has a tumor on her heart. So we are just making sure she's cool. She's 13 years old. Um, but she's cool right now. She's just begging for treats and sleeping right now. I'm just looking at her. Yeah. That's our little road dog. She has traveled a lot.
I bet. Um, Sharonda G said she swam the ocean near Isla Mujeres. No, ma'am, not for the faint of heart or even good pool
Yeah.
swimmers. With waves moving and strong current, good cardio and ocean swimming practice is much needed. If
Yeah.
I can't stand in the water, I don't want it. In the ocean, I don't.
You could
I
just
don't
be
want
really
it.
tall.
And
You just
I'm
go to the
not.
Bahamas. Go
So
to the Bahamas. You can stand in the water in the Bahamas.
mm-mm,
Just stay there. You're good.
if I can, I want the water no higher than like right here. If it's higher than here, I'm not. What are we doing? Give me toddler water, please. Toddler.
Polar.
Toddler water. I want
You want a
I
bathtub?
want your 2-year-old to feel safe in this water. That's the water I want. Thank you. What are we doing? What are we doing? That ocean? No, we're being positive about the water because women are interested in this, and I'm not gonna be that
The
person.
ocean
Okay,
is, you know what? Just go to the Bahamas. You can see the bottom. Everything is
that's nice.
amazing. It
Okay,
is
so you're a
beautiful.
big proponent of boating in the Bahamas?
You know what? It gets you out of the US. It gets you to some gorgeous water. It's shallow. You
Mhm.
can fish, you can go for lobster, you can support the local community. Um, it's just gorgeous. And it's just easy. It's just faster to get to out of the US, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
On a sail, it
Dara,
takes about 10 hours.
oh, that's not bad. Not bad when I'm not doing any of the work. Dara says we usually docks into a big float. I want to say flotilla.
Flotilla.
Flot-
Flotilla.
I realized I was saying
Flotilla. I like that.
flotilla.
Flotilla.
Excuse me,
Oh,
I'm
I
Mexican,
bet
so sometimes the Spanish just comes out. I can't help it.
I
Big
bet they
groups of
can't
boats on
stand
our trip,
y'all.
and we take over the yacht clubs. White folks can't stand it. Like 21 boats of black folks pulling up. I know they're like,
Yeah.
who is that, and why are they here?
Yep. With all these boats, all these people going back and forth. So I haven't done a flotilla yet. Um, maybe that'll be in the future to join up with one.
Okay,
They
and
look
Dara,
fun. They bring DJs. Actually, I did do a moonlight flotilla, and man, the bottles were being passed. The music was playing.
okay, yeah. Now were the flotillers like 85? The retirees you're talking about?
I mean, if you get some of them down there,
They're 85, but they spry, huh?
whoo, you gonna feel like the old person. Like, do you kids know what
Right.
you're doing? But no, it's gonna be, you're gonna, I will say the age range is gonna be on the higher side, but you have a couple of younger people in there every now and then. And then sometimes it's just a little too young, the group.
Okay.
So, but no, everybody down there, if everybody is there to have fun, you're gonna have some fun.
Okay.
They will make sure you have
Um,
fun.
everyone now wants to get into Dara's flotilla,
You
but
should
she
do
asked
it.
you earlier if you're connected with any folks in the Black Boaters Association.
Not in the Black Boaters Association. I'm part of the Facebook group, so I wanted to sit down and find it, get to whatever official pieces that I can get into. But I have connected with some other Black boaters.
Mhm.
Not that many women, a lot of men, older men, things like that. So, but I'm definitely open, and that's why I was hoping if everything works out, we can get up to the Chesapeake because they have a really good community up there, at
That
least from what
makes
I can
sense.
tell.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yes. Okay. Larissa wants to know, knowing what you know now about boat life, what are 3 things you believe to be helpful for someone wanting to live on a boat? Important question.
Be ready to live with less. Um, oh gosh, living on a boat. Just be ready to live with less. Um, don't be afraid to take on repairs. Just know that if it's your boat, you own everything, and just be ready to be the expert on fixing things. And it's not as scary as it sounds because somebody knows how to do it. Everybody has a video on it. Um, just take ownership of it. If you're gonna live and sail the boat or move the boat, just the confidence. You're gonna have the confidence in yourself, and just know that you can do it. Um, and be okay with making mistakes. It happens,
Okay.
but you learn as you go. But I
Okay.
think the biggest thing is just be ready to live with less because you don't need as much as you need. And the other thing is just be open to having fun. Be like freakishly open to meeting people, having fun, inviting people over for a sundowner, going over, because the thing is you take your own cup to people's places anyway. So go hang out with people and just hear people's stories. There's some wild
Okay.
stories out here in the boating world.
Okay. Uh, Making friends. While you're making friends, uh, N. Walker wants to know, where can a sister find a single Black boating retired brother? It's a very specific order she's putting in. She has
Annapolis. Go sorry to Chesapeake. Go to the Chesapeake, girl.
Chesapeake. No, I
Chesapeake.
think she wanted you to. It sounds like she would like a connection. So she put her order in. She put her order in first.
All right. Give me a
So
few months. I'm gonna be scouting some cities. So St. Augustine is next, and I'm going up to Charleston. Then I'm gonna hit the Chesapeake, hit Virginia Beach and things like that. So I'll let you know. So I'll go back in the platform and give y'all scouting reports.
she'll be in Heartbeat, letting y'all know. I
Hmm.
spotted one.
But quite a few over in Tampa, but I'm not on that side of Florida.
Okay. Oh, I wouldn't have thought of Tampa.
But they do go down to the Florida Keys, y'all. Just saying. And the Bahamas.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
She's telling you. She's telling you. All right. We got that. We got this one. What
I
do
feel like I need to
we
start a dating thing now.
you might
But
you
here's your
you told us boat
boat.
prices and
So
some things
you need
started
somebody
going
who has a boat. See, there you go.
already.
Yes.
I don't want to
Insured,
have to show up with half of a boat money, right? Like
insured and licensed. All right.
knows
I
what
see
they're
what y'all
doing.
need. I'll hook
And
y'all up.
you
I'll let
said
y'all know.
there's some of them who don't mind a passenger princess. Hello.
Just make some
Oh,
cocktails. That's all they need.
I can make a cocktail. All right. Um, on the go, Jojo wants to know, has your experience in the ocean changed what you eat?
Oh, yes. And what the things I'm gonna say is gonna make it sound like I eat worse now. Because I was making everything, like I still make fresh bread. I still make bread and things like that.
You have
Very
an oven?
much, yeah. I have an oven, a microwave. I have a grill. Oh, we ain't struggling over here. We ain't struggling. Just saying.
I forgot.
We ain't struggling.
Your $1 million boat.
We cool over here. No. Um, in the RV, I was definitely doing more handmade stuff. Or making things from scratch. It all depends on where I am now. So I do eat seasonally. I have loved being on shore, going to the farmers market. So I pick up things like that. I do a lot of ready-made things. So like the microwave rice in a pouch, only because when you're out to sea, it's too hard to make food because I'm not going down in the galley. It moves too much, so I have to stay up. So anything quick and easy. I'm also, y'all, I'm later, I'm in that perimenopause life, so beans and rice are a thing on this boat. I, I pick up veggies as I can, so that's why I go to the farmers market on a Sunday. I go get the vegetables, and you have to eat those fast because salt air makes it, things just don't last as much. So you kind of have to learn that process of storing food, keeping food, and eating things. Like we're not just wasting food. Like if it's on this boat, it's being eaten. So veggies go first, then frozen, and then we hit the can. So I do a lot of canned goods now, a lot more than what I used to.
I hadn't thought about that, that the salt air would impact something like
Everything,
every
everything,
everything.
everything,
Okay.
clothes, everything.
Okay, so you make your own water. Is how is your skin and hair? Let's talk about, you look gorgeous. Has it
Um,
impacted it at all?
I think everything is good. I mean, I worked for years with a face fixer, my esthetician. Um, I don't wear makeup anymore. Oddly enough, I haven't had any breakouts since being on this boat or being in the RV. Um, you do have to just get used to being uh like freshly spritzed and glowing because it's humid. So you got to
Okay.
get used to that. So yeah, so that's why makeup is just not a thing anymore. Um, but like skin, yeah, you still have to worry with some dryness. So now I'm not using heavy body butters anymore because I was coming out of Colorado. So now I could do a little bit of lighter lotion and I put my coconut oil and my essential oils in it because you don't want to get dry from the salt water. But yeah, you want to just walk around free, air, clothing that just breathes on you, because you're out in this humid air all the time. But yeah, I don't think the skin hasn't had any issues whatsoever. At least I don't think
Excellent.
so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Um, a couple times you've mentioned that you need to be ready to live with less on the boat.
Hmm.
Did y'all overpack when y'all came on the boat?
No, because remember we went from the house to the RV,
RV. Yes,
and
the
the
RV.
rule was if it don't can't fit, it goes. So we got rid of probably 80% of everything that we had. And the clothing that we had for the RV was different because we were traveling to Alaska through British Columbia, so we were in some cold places. Um, we don't need that here. I've been
Okay.
like on naked time now.
Mhm.
Uh, but no overpacking because coming out of the RV, we just didn't have much stuff. But even then, I had to pare down because clothing that you'll have for Alaska and Montana is just very different than what you need for the Florida Keys.
Yeah,
Except
yes.
for that one day it was 45 degrees.
Oh, no, 45 degrees. How did you
I know.
survive for
We
one
didn't.
day?
We turned the heat on because most boats don't have heat, y'all. That's what I learned.
But you,
I
in
had
your
heat.
$1,000,000 boat,
I know.
she got some heat, girls. She got some heat.
We had somebody, gosh, I'm going to sound so snobby, but
Say
we had
it.
somebody message, and I was just like, "Hey, how y'all doing on your boat?" Because I didn't realize a lot of boats didn't have heat, and they were like, "Oh, we got like two blankets between us," and I was like, "Yeah, it is cold." She was like, "Do you need something? Like, need a blanket?" And I told my husband, I was like, "I probably shouldn't say that we turned the heat on, right?" He was like, "Nah, just be quiet." So
Okay. I I would have assumed your boat didn't have heat, or it doesn't have air, does it? Y'all ain't got no air
yes, it has
conditioning?
air. Yes, girl, come
She in a
on.
house, y'all. She in a
Mm-mm.
house on the water.
There are some options I know, like even if I never use them, I will always get some AC and some heat.
Okay. She said, "Not listen, Vietnam. Listen here, Vietnam."
Like, no, we have AC. We don't run it very often, but we do have AC.
Okay. All right. Um,
I love these questions.
we nosy girl. We nosy. Uh, Tori wants to know if you see families with children boating.
Yes, you'd be surprised. There are quite a few with multiple children, like people with 3 and 4 kids on smaller boats than what we have, and multiple dogs. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, yeah. So you see quite a few people with families on boats. A lot of
Okay.
people are sailing around the world with families.
Multiple children, I guess you can't just leave them at home, but multiple dogs on a and children?
Yeah, that's a lot. But there are quite a few. I won't say there's a lot because the boating world is it's not as big as I make it seem, but there are quite a few who have their families on here. They homeschool, of course, and then it seems like everybody goes through when the kids want to be more stable. They have to make some decisions about life.
Okay.
Yeah,
But you don't have to do that.
no,
Yay.
we ain't got no kids.
Yay. Um, okay. Uh, before we wrap this up, is there anything about your current life experience that we haven't talked about that you think we should cover?
Oh, my current life experience. I don't think so. I think my because I mean we're talking about boating, so that is the experience I am in right now. Um, Gosh, I just think as I get older, like I'm knocking on the door to 50 and just kind of thinking about, all these cool things that I've done, like how did we get here and
Mhm.
enjoying all of those moments, but also just looking forward to the future. The one thing I still run my online business, I still research. I've gotten a little bit deeper into photography, so trying to do a little bit more over there. But one of the things that has been amazing about this is just seeing the door open for opportunities. I don't know all the opportunities that are out there, but just being open because I knew
Mm.
going into this, I was like, there's going to be something different about this. As long as I keep paying attention, there's something here for me inside of this world of boating. Don't know what it is yet, but I've just been really excited. So I just hope everybody who's part of your community, because girl, I be telling people about y'all. I've been trying to bribe people to come join. Like, I'll just pay for you to go to the thing. Just go. Because I just see so much of I see what you and Stephanie are doing, and it's just I love it so much that you are just kind of dropping those nuggets that hey, you got options, and people are like, what? Clutching pearls. Like, what do you mean I got some options?
Gosh.
And I love that so much about what you all are doing. So that's why I'm just so excited about any and all things in the future because I mean it just opens the door when you are willing to just like, you know what, let me even just think about this and then the next step, let me go do this. So gosh, it just opens so that's what I'm excited about. That's the current thing I'm in right now. So
It's
I'm
amazing.
just
Like
excited.
you live what sounds from the outside like a very amazing life, and it's one that not everyone will ever get to experience. So it's
Hmm.
really, I see opportunities
Yeah.
coming for you, especially because you help people get speaking engagements. She's an
Yep.
amazing speaker, y'all. And I see this for you. Wait, TEDx?
I've done 2 TEDx talks.
Two times. Two times. The lady knows what she's doing. Opportunities await. Joanna asked a great question, which I forgot to ask, which is, what's your usual day like?
Oh, the usual day is because we're still working, it's kind of like working from home. I get up, um I take the dog out and just open up the doors, and just kind of look at the view. Hubby makes coffee, he gets straight to work, and I just kind of move about my day, figuring out what I need to do. If it's my work day for business, I will sit down and do that and kind of focus on that for the day. But I get up, do some exercises. I've been working on my pull ups and then we offset cooking. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the days that I cook. So I think about what I'm going to eat and just plan for that and just kind of take it easy. I really is not a spectacular day. It's pretty easy.
Okay. And you go to shore to walk the dog.
Yeah, we go to shore to walk the dog. If I have packages, I'll go to shore. Sometimes I go to shore to take a shower because the one thing is I don't have unlimited water because we either
Mhm.
have to make it or go get it. Um, and because we're paying for this marina, they have unlimited water pressure and unlimited
Mm.
hot water. I go think
Mm.
about life in the shower over there.
Yeah.
Uh, they have happy hours at this particular marina and they have free laundry. So I use their stuff all the time.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah. So it's a pretty I'm not gonna even front. It's a pretty chill life.
Okay.
And then when we get ready to, I think in about 2 weeks, we're going to start prepping to go north. Then it's pick up because then we got to make sure all of our maintenance things are done to go and make sure all of our safety checks in. I create all of the lists, our sale plan, so people know exactly where we're going. So then things kind of speed up around those times. But we've kind of decided to sail, hang out for a month, and then leave. So we're not moving that fast.
Okay. That's fun.
Hmm.
Get
Yeah.
to chill. Be with a
Yep.
person you like,
Yep.
apparently.
That's good. Yeah.
And your
That's
dog.
important. Yep.
Important. Important. Important.
So,
Um,
yeah. Find some
and look,
festivals to go to. Find some food to eat.
you can just pull up in Martha's Vineyard and do the thing and then take the boat and do whatever thing and then do the
So
this
yeah.
is
So
a
anybody's gonna
life.
be in Saint Augustine in the next month. Just hit me up. We can go hang out. Do some walking
Someone
tours.
did hit you up here and say she lives, I think, 30 minutes from St. Augustine, but we don't do that here publicly. We're not gonna connect
Yep.
y'all. Get in the community and
Nope.
do that because no one's
I'm
giving out
over there.
information. No one's giving out any personal information on the YouTubes. So get in the Exodus community, holler at Phylecia. She's in there.
That's the beautiful
Um,
thing about the ocean. Nobody can find you.
nobody can find you.
And
But
they're
we
not
have
gonna come get you.
they'd be like, which
Ain't nobody
one?
pulling up. Ain't nobody
Which
popping up.
boat is yours? Except that boat behind you. You got to watch out for them.
They're
The
not
blue
even
boat.
there. They dropped that boat off and left two
And
days ago.
left.
Yeah. Most of these boats are sitting here empty. They
It's
pulled
empty.
up and then they just took off. So I don't even know where they are.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I let you go out of here, there's a question I want to ask you. I
Hmm.
think if I remember correctly, I'm gonna start asking all my guests, but life be lifing. So who knows? So you're the first person with this question, and I have to preface it in a way I wouldn't preface it with someone else. So besides the ocean, where in the world have you felt freest?
Oh, that's hard because the ocean just opens up
I
everything.
know, I know, but no,
Ah,
besides the
it's
ocean.
it's in the travel sense or
Yes, yes. What country, what city, what space? If you've been to the moon and want to tell us about that. She probably
oh
been to the moon,
man.
y'all, on
I'm
her
I'm gonna
$1,000,000 jet.
oh gosh, I want to give the correct answer because I this is the challenge I have nowadays because I'm part of so many travel communities and I know people love the international travel and I have absolutely loved international travel. But I don't know the place I will say I felt the freest. I don't know. I don't know if I hate to say it. One, it would be Alaska,
Okay.
only because we were so remote.
Mhm.
You know, we went up to the Arctic. We got flown to the Arctic. We went to two of the national parks out into the Arctic, and it was just so amazing just seeing that much land, seeing that much water, seeing animals just roam free, and you're just right next to them. Driving through BC to get to Alaska was just so amazing. And I will say it probably ruined all travel for me because like I went there like, yeah, I don't need to see any more national parks. This did it for me. It was absolutely, and I was not in any city. So we were hitting backcountry. We were hiking glaciers and all that kind of stuff. Even the dog went hiking on a glacier. Um, if I have to say in an international sense when it comes to travel, um, oh gosh, I mean, boating in Italy, but that's on water. Going to Bhutan was fascinating.
Ooh,
I liked
was it?
Bhutan. It was
What was it you liked about Bhutan?
it was I don't it was I went right before I had to go in for a major surgery. So I think that may have had something to do with it. And we did all these hikes to temples. And, sometimes when you're hiking, you just have a lot of time to think about where
Mhm.
you are. And I feel like maybe it was because I call these chapters in my life. It was right at the turning point of a different chapter in my life. But just how not busy it was and how we were able to just maneuver and the people were nice. The food was fun. And just going somewhere that was just so different than what I was used to. It was just an overall great experience, and I loved hiking because it did challenge me, hiking to all these different temples. So that was like a huge challenge. And we did that for about 2 weeks, and it was just, I don't know, just one of the few places that I've traveled to where I didn't feel like there was so much coming at you at one time, and it was just pretty peaceful. I really like that.
That's cool. Now, I will say Bhutan was a great second choice, but I will accept Alaska as your first choice. It didn't have
Yeah.
to be international because
Yes.
truly, when we think about America, we're not thinking about Alaska, right?
No, we're not, which is so unfortunate. And which is one thing is like I know not everybody's going to get there, but the one beautiful thing is that you can drive there. It's a long drive, but driving through that part of British Columbia was
Mhm.
just as amazing as getting into Alaska. I just love the scenery, being there in the summertime, being able to go take a hike at 10 o'clock at night
That's crazy.
because you forget that it's like nighttime.
Crazy.
Um,
And then bears weren't trying to eat you up? Like a little snacky snack?
well, that's a different podcast. Um, we had an encounter,
On her next TED
but
Talk.
I know it was fun. Though we sat on a river with some bears. They didn't eat us, so that was cool. But no, it was just one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to, and there's tons of beautiful places, but gosh, Alaska did it, and just and you're right. The one thing, the United States, oh, like.
Not Wednesday. It's not Wednesday.
No, it's not. It's just it was like I feel like Tyra in the American, like we were all rooting for you. That's how I am with you. It's like we were all rooting for you. But it's just because there's so many, when you take out all the craziness, it is so beautiful. It is just
Yes.
so beautiful. Like going to the national parks, going to Alaska, it's just so beautiful. It's just that it gets covered up with all the muck of crazy. So I think the one thing I will say, if any of you ever have the chance, if you just need to, because I know Stephanie or Rashida talk about sabbaticals. If even if you just can't get away out of the country, going on one of these road trips through these areas just clears your mind and just lets you realize that there's potential and there's peace out there.
Okay. All right. So listen, Phylecia done told us the first step is the RV, but you got to get in and out, and then a boat. Not a 30-year-old boat
No, leave those alone.
for 30K. Don't do
They
that.
those make good for YouTube videos, not for peace of mind.
We're not here to make YouTube videos. We're here to have a functioning boat. Because when it starts getting a little gangster lean, the video's not going to come out the same.
No.
So when you're ready for boat life, Phylecia has two things for you. One, the name of your boat husband for all of you watching. And two, well, maybe three things. The name of your boat broker
Yeah.
and some tips on her YouTube channel for how to live your life aboard a boat, especially when you're new. Like, one of the things I love about talking to you about this, one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you about this was because you're not coming from it from I've been doing this for 20 years. I forgot what it's like to be new experience. Right.
Oh God, no,
I would
no,
still
I'm
talk to
still
you about this in
fresh.
20 years, right? But like I love the freshness of,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm still fresh.
this is what we didn't know, right?
I am
I
in
do love that.
biblical accord fresh. I'm fresh.
Yes. So thank you for sharing your fresh experiences. Um, ladies, let's get to the boating. $1 million boats for everybody. For
You get a boat and
everybody.
you get a boat and you get a boat.
Everybody, now not from me. I ain't the boat. I ain't Bopra, right? Like
You just need a friend
that's
with a
not
boat. That's
happening.
just a friend with
But
a boat.
get you a friend with a boat. Phylecia might could
Yes,
be your friend with a boat. So if you're
it
of
could be your
Exit
friend.
Summit community, come holler at her. She has a blog and a
Yes.
YouTube channel, which are both linked, and her subscription, her monthly subscription, which shows you speaking opportunities weekly.
Mhm. Every week, every Monday, I post a batch of new opportunities for you to go market your business. Go make this money so you can get on a boat
Right. Come,
or go to Vienna. Like let's do this.
let's do this. All right. So thank you, Phylecia.
Thank you for having me. I am a huge fan and I just love this. I was excited. So my husband's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I get to talk to Rashida." So I
Oh,
was excited. Thank you.
yay. Thank you for being here and sharing your experience. Because I was like, I remember in 2022, I was like, the minute you get on this boat, we need to talk about it. And now it's been a little while, but we got it back together.
Yeah.
Here talking about the boat.
You didn't even get the good stories yet, too, because it's been crazy, but it's been fun. It's been fun.
I'll be will you be telling the good stories on your channel?
Eventually, we still got to come down from those. They still require wine to tell these stories.
Okay, so maybe a little Rage Wednesday every once in a while.
Maybe.
Thank you for being here, audience. Thank you
Thank you.
for being kind as always and generous and all the other stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Phylecia. We will see you sometime soon. Members in my community will get together in about 10, 15 in time, 10 or 15 minutes. I'll send out a thingy. We'll do this. Thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you. I love doing this. And thank you all for having me. This is so much fun. I haven't done this in a while, so this is great.
Yay. Okay, Phylecia, hang around for a minute. Everybody
Okay.
else, we're going to say goodbye. Bye, y'all.